we're going to be looking at a high elo Skye gameplay in this video. The thing about Skye is people mistake her for a flanker. She's a backline damage off support. That's what she is. So you always want a second damage or a second flanker. You know, that's the way you think of it. This is, you know, oh, they switched. So first damage, second damage, not flanker and damage. That's not how you count Skye. Either Skye with a flanker or Skye with a damage. She's not a flanker. Her viable talent is smoke and daggers. Let's talk about the other ones before we go in depth about this. The thing is, let me just slow this down so I have more time. The thing is, you know, if you're running Debilitate, you're only gonna be getting value out of it against tanks with a lot of HP, like for example Rom or Inara maybe. Others, you're not, you know, yes, you're gonna burst them down fast enough, but notice this, you're allegedly a flanker, you're playing Debilitate, and you're fighting tanks? Is it your job as a flanker to be fighting tanks? No. No, that's the damages role, which is exactly what Skye fits. She's an off support thanks to this, and the damage thanks to the way she's played, her base kit. You can't go invisible and go hug the enemy's tricks. He's going to burst you down, he's gonna hear you coming and use flare to reveal you, and then he's gonna be able to kill you before you do, you know. Don't think that Skye is a flanker. No, she's not. If there's a Genos on the enemy team, you don't have mobility to get out of his grip. You're weak against Genos. Your effective weapons range is, if I recall correctly, it's 30 units. Illuminate 2 is 30 units. So at your most effective range, you will be seen by the enemy anyway. This is why you play Skye as a backline damage. You're always near your allies, near your team. You need to do that in order to win as Skye. Now let's talk about the loadout real quick right now. He's running Quick Smoker just because he needs some cooldown reduction. He doesn't buy Chronos, by the way. On Skye, you don't need Chronos. There is another support at all times. You know, they're gonna switch. Just don't look at this. They are going to switch. The thing is, you don't need Chronos as Skye. The other healer will be dealing the needed healing in between your smokes. Next up, a non-flat cooldown reduction in the form of Confound. Each hit by poison bolts, and you shoot 3 of them, will reduce the cooldown of smoke screen by 1 second. And then you need more poison bolts, so you use Poisoner at 4 or 5 points. Next up, you yourself as Skye have no mobility, and thus you need to have a form of, you know, ability to dodge, which is going to be base movement speed. Using this card at 5 is just you not buying Nimble. This is the thing. He's running it at 5 so that he never needs Nimble. And then he has Healing Vapors. Why isn't this at 5 points? Well, the thing is, he's only looking to be healing his allies for about 100 and a bit, you know, every 2 seconds when they are in the smoke screen late game under Core 3. The thing is, this adds 150 healing for the smoke screen for allies. So 150 and 375 is gonna be 525. Meaning that under Core 3, we look at it here, 525 times 0.25, it's 131 healing per 2 seconds, not per 1 second, but it's still good. It's still going to be, you know, saving an ally. You know, per 2 seconds means that against a sniper, that's good enough. And this isn't necessarily the best loadout out there for Skye. As a matter of fact, keep in mind, all champions require you to have at least 2 loadouts. At least 2 loadouts. And please look at this. This is the default loadout on Cherish. So you switch from Solar Blessing on the default loadout for it, by the way, to this one. They are a Diamond Plus player, by the way. Yes, they have reached Diamond Plus by playing default loadouts. Does that mean that the default loadouts are good? No. This just has the one required card for Furia. Everything else is up to you. Doesn't matter what you run. Okay, Burning Oath is all that you need, and everything else is up to you. That's why it worked. Okay, maybe on other champions there are some default loadouts that can work, like for example Decimation's default loadout on Terminus. It's only 1 point away from being the best, which is removing Wrecking Ball or something like that. I don't remember the name. Anyways, this is a video about Skye, not about ranting about bad loadouts or bad selections of talents or horrible loadouts, or why did they pick this for more shields. Well, there is a sniper, so yeah, maybe that. Brain Life, well, maybe they'll be able to hit 2 enemies and get 600 over 2 seconds. Who knows? Oh yeah, just a reminder, you play Skye in higher elo just to flex and troll the enemy team if you win. Oh look, you lost against Skye. Let's look at the positioning. Why is he playing like that at the beginning? Well, simple enough, because everyone expects you to be on the point. Okay, so he basically just threw them off by making some noise and pretending not to be where he is. He's pretending to be a noob, which is a move that Reloading always does. Specifically, if you spectate his games. He's really fun to watch, you know. Anyways, let's look at where he's gonna put the smoke screen. Okay, the shield is gonna really be annoying. Still, see, he's not in the enemy backline. He's in his own backline. That's what I mean by backliner. That guy is so dead. He's fighting tanks. He's not a flanker. He's a damage backliner. You know, as a player, she is a damage backliner. So he's trying to dismount anyone, but the door's gonna say no, you. Okay, whatever. Oh, that shield though. Fortress Breaker really is helping out, isn't it? You know, the loadout they're using, they don't have Brawl 5 on Ashe. They have the card that gives you your shield back if you hit Kinetic Burst. I can understand why he's not running Brawl, since his self-sustain is in, you know, the shield. But still, I would run both. I wouldn't run just this card on its own. Where's Brawl? Why isn't this at 5? Why do you need this card at all? Oh wait, he is playing the shield. So flat cooldown, more duration, more cooldown, but it's not flat, and base HP and some life rip. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. Let's look at Skye now. He should be a little bit closer to deal the full damage, but still he's trying to be safe. Okay. I guess he died to the Cassie combo. You know, Cassie's always talked about as of being a anti-flanker of sorts. She's really safe against them if she knows how to use her abilities in the combo. I can almost say the same thing about Leon, but Leon doesn't fare enough against tanks, you know. Okay. Yeah, by the way, if you're trying to learn how to flank, please learn not to dive all the time and wait for your team to be in position and just poke like this. Even though he's not dealing that great of a damage, you know, per shot at that range, he's still waiting for his team and annoying the enemy team. He's putting pressure, poking from a distance. Okay, so that Ashe got called out and he looked away. Let's look at the healing numbers just for a laugh. He's healed for half of what Grover has done, more than half. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, where's Verdant Blooming? Why are you running Chopper? Why isn't this at 5 instead of this? Why do you need both the shield and this? Grover's base HP is 2300. Oh my god, why do people do this to me? Why do people do this at all? Okay. That was a bad ult, and it didn't go off. And that's just the push. If only people knew when to pick Skye and when not to. Well, anyways, there's not much to see in the rest of this video, so I'm just going to rant about loadouts right now. So basically, Barrack is running this probably because maybe Inara would have switched to treacherous grounds and he was afraid of that. So this is similar to the loadout that I use where I put all of my self-sustain on the turrets. And this is why he's running one-man scrap at 4. But here's the thing, you don't need this card at all. You need Brave and Bold in order to give yourself just the tiniest amount of time for your support to come in and heal you. And you know, Strix, this is a good loadout. Except while running Dexterous. You don't use your pistol unless you're running unauthorized use. This is useless. Completely useless. And you're up against Kinessa. You are up against Kinessa as Strix. Do you understand what that means? It means you need 2250 HP and Haven 1. Okay? Why do we need that? Well, simple enough. Two shots, not headshots, will bring you down to only 32 HP if you have 2250 base and Haven 1. That's the thing. And then an instant shot, an uncharged shot, will kill you. If you're not running with Grizzled at 5, you will be dead in 2 shots no matter what level of Haven you have. It's not going to help you out. Look at Barrett just dying to Skye. See? Maybe name Skye a different class, like a tank buster or something. Just not a flanker. She is not a flanker. And notice this. He's faring this good against tanks, and he's not even running Debilitate. You don't need Debilitate. You don't need it. You just don't need it. One of the funniest things, you know, that you would see in casual play, a random player is gonna say, Skye, go kill Genos, or Skye, go kill Strix. No, it goes the other way around. You can't just solo flank as Skye. If you wanna flank with Skye, sit on your off tank. You know, pocket them with the smoke and daggers, the smoke bomb, and then you'll be able to make use of the space they'll make for you. Always stay near your team. He's gonna die now, isn't he? Oh. Oh, he's dead. Okay, whatever. That was some bad positioning, but he couldn't do anything about it. He was visible due to Illuminate 2. Okay. It's always an enemy battle between Strix and Kinessa. It always is. Wasn't that hit? That would have been a headshot. Okay. Whatever, let's go back to Skye. Oops, she ate that shot by mistake, probably. Okay. Well, I mean, they might have been able to do that without the ult, but still doesn't matter that much, because not even playing half shell anyway. Okay, let's see if we can get out of the spawn and talk a little bit about, the range card on Grover on Bazaar. 80 units is your base range as Grover. What that means is the distance between this spot where a tank will be usually using this as a wall, cover, you're gonna be needing to be sitting right over here, this spot, or over here. It's a radius, it's a circle, in order to heal. As soon as you've reached the very edge right over this spot right here, you're not going to be able to heal that tank. You're going to need to be out in the open or need to be hugging this wall. Even then, you'll need your tank to come closer to you. On this map, you need Verdant's Blooming at least 3 points. It's not that much of a valuable card. The maximum range it gives you is just 16 units, which is around 2 steps. Still, it's good because it's a circle, not a linear range. Well, whatever. That ult wasn't really that great, but maybe it zoned the enemy enough or something. I don't know. He's still going for around 50% of what Grover is doing, by the way, if you noticed. I only blame the range card and nothing else. I mean, the player is Diamond Plus. You can't blame them. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Or a bad loadout. Or both. Yep, that's your job as Skye. Make tanks cry. GG easy no rewrite. No. You only pick Skye in order to flex on your enemies at higher elo. They'll buy Cauterize, they'll buy Illuminate, and then you're dead. Don't pick Skye at higher elo. Just don't do it. There are multiple Grandmasters that one-tricked Skye into there. However, they're always in a duo, which means way too much different things, like always being with an off-tank. And that off-tank space makes Skye work as an off support, not as a flanker. She's still an off support, she's not playing Debilitate. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you've gotten any good use out of this. Enjoy Paladins.